Aquatic health indicators. Scientists can check to see how healthy a water system is. The factors that they often look at to measure the health of water include water temperature, dissolved water content, macroinvertebrates, turbidity, nitrogen and phosphorus levels. Rivers, lakes, ponds, and other water systems have a general temperature range. Throughout the day, the temperature on the surface of the water fluctuates. Water temperatures also naturally fluctuate during seasonal changes. What causes temperature changes in water? Human activities can alter the natural temperature changes in water. Industries can release heated or cooled water into the water systems. Forest harvesting takes away the natural shaded areas around the water systems, which increases the temperature of the water. Urban development alters the characteristics and paths of stormwater runoff. Humans also play a role in altering the natural climate change, which also affects the water temperature. What are the effects of increased temperature of water? Warmer water holds less oxygen, causing organisms to die. A second factor in determining aquatic health is dissolved oxygen content. Dissolved oxygen is essential for a healthy aquatic ecosystem. Fish and aquatic animals need the oxygen dissolved in the water to survive. What causes dissolved oxygen content in a water system? Dissolved oxygen content changes naturally with water temperature changes. It decreases with higher temperature and in the winter when the water is trapped under the ice, preventing the currents to circulate oxygen from the air to the water. Water flow and aquatic plants are needed to ensure that there is an adequate amount of oxygen in the water. What are the effects of dissolved oxygen content? The concern for aquatic ecosystems is low oxygen content. Low levels of oxygen in the water can kill aquatic organisms or prevent them from reproducing. Another factor in determining aquatic health is macroinvertebrates. The number of macroinvertebrates, such as larvae, crayfish, and leeches, in a water source can tell us how clean the water is. What causes macroinvertebrates to exist in an aquatic system? These macroinvertebrates are naturally occurring in the aquatic system. How does water quality affect the macroinvertebrates of an ecosystem? Many macroinvertebrates are less tolerant to temperature and oxygen changes in the water. Changes to the natural temperature and oxygen levels can greatly affect the health of water by reducing the biodiversity of the ecosystem. Biodiversity simply means the number of different types of organisms in an ecosystem. An ecosystem is healthier if it has more different organisms in the system. Turbidity is also another factor that is used to determine the health of water. Turbidity is the measurement of how murky or cloudy water is. What causes water to have a higher turbidity or to be cloudy or murkier? An excess in sediment such as mud, sand, and other solid particles are added to the water source through erosion, which can be natural or caused by human development, through runoff and agriculture. What effect does turbidity have on the quality of water? Increased turbidity reduces the amount of light that reaches aquatic plants. Decrease in aquatic plants decreases the oxygen in the water and interferes with breathing in aquatic animals. Nitrogen and phosphorus levels in water is the final factor that determines the quality of water. Nitrogen and phosphorus are naturally occurring in water and are needed to support the living organisms in the water system. However, an overabundance of nitrogen and phosphorus can be dangerous to the water system. What causes an increase in nitrogen and phosphorus levels in water? Increase in nitrogen and phosphorus levels is caused by human overuse, including fertilizers from lawns and farming runoff, as well as human and animal waste that is introduced into the water system. What are the effects of increased nitrogen and phosphorus in water? Increased nitrogen and phosphorus increase algae growth, which can lead to low oxygen levels in the water source. As discussed earlier in this video, there are different effects that low oxygen levels have on the water source. As discussed in this video, scientists use a variety of indicators to tell whether or not a water system is healthy. All of these indicators are interconnected in some manner. So for example, the temperature of the water will affect the plant growth, which will essentially affect the levels of oxygen that are in the water. It is essential to understand that this interconnectedness plays a key role in determining why we should protect our water systems.